Since Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sat down with Oprah, it seems the general public has learned a lot about the royal family that, prior to the interview, well, we had no clue. Again, based off of what they are saying. Some of the biggest headlines have included concerns over how dark their baby's skin color would be, and that Meghan was having an incredibly tough time adjusting to life as a royal. It got to the point that she was contemplating whether or not she still wanted to be alive. It was very bad. And as the days have gone on, more information has come to light, with bonus parts of the interview being released days after the initial airing. We've already covered the top 10 secrets exposed, and you guys seem to enjoy that. So today we're counting down the top 10 royal secrets exposed by Meghan Markle and Prince Harry Part 2 on IO. Smash that like button and let's go. Starting things off at number 10, who asked about the baby's skin color? We may never know who it was, although a lot of people have been making assumptions of their own. When it was revealed that someone in the royal family had questions, or possibly even concerns about how dark the skin of Harry and Meghan's unborn baby would be, I mean, people were speechless. I can't even comprehend how that's even a thought, let alone something someone actually says. With that being said, although Meghan refused to outright expose who said what, more information has since come to light. Following the premiere of the interview, Oprah appeared on CBS this morning to shed more light on some of what was said. Specifically speaking about this incident, she said that Harry wanted to make sure, I quote, "I knew, and if I had an opportunity to share, that it was not his grandma, the Queen, nor his grandfather, Prince Philip, that were a part of those conversations." Another source allegedly told ITV royal editor Chip Ship, which is a fantastic name, that might not be his real name, but it's a great name, that it wasn't the Queen or Duke of Edinburgh, I quote, "and that only leaves two family members and their spouses. The two people you're left with are Prince Charles or his brother Prince William or their wives." It's pretty serious, that's kind of where it's left. Moving on to number 9, they left because of racism. It wasn't the only reason, but definitely a big part of why the couple decided they no longer wanted to live in the UK in general. When directly asked if they left due to racism, Harry's response was, I quote, "It was a large part of it." Harry went on to explain that a friend of his who was close to British editors told them that the couple would have to deal with their fair share of racism. At first, Harry thought it was just the tabloids, but his friend told him it was all of the UK. As per Harry, his friend said, I quote, "Please don't do this with the media. They will destroy your life. You need to understand that the UK is very bigoted." Harry replied to his friend, "The UK is not bigoted. The UK press is bigoted, specifically the tabloids. Is that what you mean?" Harry insisted the UK wasn't bigoted as a whole, but went on to say, I quote, "But unfortunately, if the source of information is inherently corrupt, or racist, or biased, then that filters out the rest of society." On to number 8, the royal family wanted Meghan to continue acting. It seems from the get-go, Harry knew there would be issues in regards to his relationship with Meghan. After the two would marry in May of 2018, there were apparently conversations about how she would be able to contribute. Harry explained, I quote, "That was right at the beginning when she wasn't going to get security, when members of my family were suggesting that she carries on acting because there was not enough money to pay for her, and all this sort of stuff. There were some real obvious signs before we even got married that this was going to be really hard." Now, I mean, I'd like to think that the royal family has more than enough money that they can afford to pay for one more person, but I mean, hey, what do I know? In September of 2020, the pair announced they'll be starting their own production company and even signed a deal with Netflix. However, Harry insisted this wasn't something they had planned prior to the pandemic. On to number 7, Meghan's father lied about speaking with the tabloids. After explaining to Oprah about how the tabloids spent a year trying to track her father down, even going as far as offering people money to find his address, she spoke about how she felt betrayed by him. Meghan explained how after finding out where he lived, reporters moved in next door or across from him and started to send him gifts. Then the week of her wedding, Thomas teamed up with a local photographer to stage a photo shoot with intentions of making it appear candid, I guess, and selling the images to tabloids. TMZ then reported he wouldn't be attending the wedding because he didn't want to embarrass the family after he was caught for setting up the photo shoot in the first place. Meghan explained how the press had known for a month that her father wouldn't be attending the wedding, but waited to release the story last minute, I quote, "because they wanted to create drama." When she had asked her father if he had spoke to the tabloids, he denied doing so, and Meghan recalled saying, "I just need you to tell me, and if you tell me the truth, we could help you." She finished off, and he wasn't able to do that. Number 6, the Queen was too busy for them. After their announcement to step down, Harry said that the Queen started to have less time for him and Meghan, explaining, I quote, "That announcement that we put out on the 8th of January in 2020, the contents of that was put into a letter to the institution, to my father, which was then shared at the end of December while we were in Canada. But then we get back on the 6th. After explaining how the Queen had invited the pair to meet with her to chat, she abruptly rescheduled. Harry explained, I quote, "The moment we landed in the UK, I got a message from my private secretary, Fionn, at the time. She was cutting and pasting a message from the Queen's private secretary, basically saying, I quote, please pass on to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex that he cannot come to Norfolk. The Queen is busy. She's busy all week." Harry then personally called his grandmother, who said she wasn't aware of any previous plans. I quote, "I said I was thinking about coming anyway, but I hear you're now busy." And she said, "Yes, there's something in my diary that I didn't know I had. And I said, well, what about the rest of the week? And she said, well, that's busy now as well. Okay, I didn't want to push because I kind of knew what was going on. After Oprah suggested being the queen, she should have the power to reschedule, Harry disagreed, explaining, when you're the head of the firm, there are people around you that give you advice. And what has also made me really sad is some of that advice has been really bad. Halfway now at 5, the family didn't offer Meghan any support. Months leading up to the wedding and even years after, the British media and tabloids specifically and consistently appeared to attack Meghan. In the interview, Oprah showed a few comparisons of headlines made about Kate Middleton doing the exact same thing as Meghan, getting praise, while Meghan would get the complete opposite. For example, when Kate was eating an avocado, it was exciting for some reason, but when Meghan did it, it was contributing to drought, murder, and other awful things. I'm fully serious. It's genuinely insane how they went after it. And given that she was the newest member of the family and already having a tough time as is, you'd hope those around her, literally, would offer support. Unfortunately, as for Meghan, they didn't, and that was yet another big reason for the pair deciding to leave. Harry specifically spoke about how it hurt him to see his family pretty much turn a blind eye to everything at a time when the media was even spreading blatant lies. Not only did they ask for the palace to ask the media to ease off, but as Harry put it, I quote, "The way that I saw it was, there was a way of doing things, but for us, for this union and the specifics around her race, there was an opportunity, many opportunities, for my family to show some public support." It even got to the point that British Parliament spoke out against what many refer to as colonial undertones in the press about Meghan, yet the family still remained silent. At number 4, Meghan was stuck. Something I never really thought of, but I guess is just the way it goes. When you're a royal, you can't just come and go as you please. During the interview, Meghan told Oprah how once she became a part of the family and royals, she was instructed to hand over her keys, passport, and driver's license. To say that she was literally stuck to the point that even if she wanted to go to a local hospital or doctor or whoever to speak with, she wasn't able to do so. Given the struggles Meghan was dealing with and knowing that she wasn't getting support from those around her, aside from Harry and maybe a few others, it was pretty shocking to find out she had no way out. Number 3, Tyler Perry offered support. Following the news that the royal family wouldn't be providing security for Harry, Meghan, or Archie, the new family was genuinely concerned for their safety. Given that Harry is still a prince, the family didn't understand why the firm was taking away his security. We're not talking any regular security, but like the top dogs of the UK, like Secret Service, that kind of security. At the time, they were living in Canada. The media pretty much told everyone their exact location, and they were fearful of what may happen. This was also during the height of our pandemic, so things were really going haywire. That's when Perry stepped in, offering his LA home to the family for 3 months, as well as his own security, while Harry, Meghan, and Archie all figured out their plans moving forward. At number 2, the family hasn't apologized. Given how things have played out over the last few months and years, Oprah decided to ask where the family currently stands. After all the rumors, tabloids, and BS that was floating around, how have things ended up? Specifically, Oprah said, I quote, "You've had these conversations with your family members. They know why you left. Has anybody said, I'm sorry you had to make that move, or I'm sorry that you felt you had to do that because you felt we weren't supporting you?" In response, Harry explained, I quote, "No, sadly not. The feeling is that this was our decision. Therefore, the consequences are on us. And despite 3 years of us asking for help and visualizing how this might end, it's been really hard." Now, regardless of how you feel about all of this, I will say it is sad to see a family appear to break up right before our eyes, and hopefully they can reconcile before the media starts pushing more false narratives. Just saying, there's 3 sides to every story, and I just hope that the media isn't the one kind of spreading the narrative across the world, is all I'm saying. At number 1, Meghan confided in one of Princess Diana's best friends. During the interview, Harry was asked how his mother, Princess Diana, would feel about how everything played out. To which he replied, I quote, "I think she would feel very angry with how this has panned out and very sad. But ultimately, all she'd ever want for us is to be happy." After talking about the similarities between his mother's situation compared to him and Meghan, Meghan then spoke about how one of Diana's closest friends was one of the only people there for her when she was in a dark place. Markle explained, I quote, "One of the people that I reached out to, who's continued to be a friend and confidant, was one of my husband's mom's best friends. One of Diana's best friends." Because it's like, who else could understand what it's actually like on the inside? And there you guys have it for the top 10 royal secrets exposed by Meghan Markle and Prince Harry Part 2. Let us know your thoughts down below. I'm sure more information will come to light, and hopefully at some point, the family will be able to reconcile and put all this behind them. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. For now, let's do some comment replies from the Part 1 of this video. Ferdrina Reveld said, "I have a feeling their daughter is going to be named after her grandma, Diana." That would actually be beautiful, because yes, they announced they're having a baby girl, and that'd be a beautiful tribute to Harry's mother, but we'll just have to wait and see. AMK said, "I feel so bad for them because they didn't really do anything. You should have seen the news in Britain the past week. Everyone was being so horrible to them." Yeah, I mean, again, I live in Canada. I don't really keep up with like the British tabloids, but from what I'm seeing online, and like, again, from this interview, it really did seem like it was everyone against Harry and Meghan. Again, what we're hearing from the media is always a little, misconstrued, and they want to sell the tabloids, so that's important to keep in mind. That's all I'm saying. But again, what we heard straight from Meghan's mouth is very different, so I don't know. Stella said, "I always had a feeling the royal family is shady." I don't know. Like, I honestly, I don't know enough about them to speak on that. Like, I don't know. I think in this world, to be honest with you guys, if you want to make a lot of money, you always got to do something shady. So that's all I'm going to say. All right, guys, that's all for this one. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. We'll see you soon.